Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Inspiration Station. Thanks for the name, Theo. Great name. My name is Yuzu. I'm a producer, DJ, a few other things. And here we have, as Theo did a lovely introduction, I was totally going to do one. You stole it from me. A Melissa Lamm, who is a full-time singer, songwriter, and producer with over 5K million streams, which is incredible. Again, with Universal Studios, Steve, and Chapter 8. So that's really dope. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel being here right now?
I'm really happy. Like, I'm so excited to just talk about singing. I feel weird talking into a microphone, but I'll try my best for you guys. But yeah, no, I'm really excited.
Hey.
I was saying to like my husband, we actually don't have a lot of people in our life who are into music and like DAWs and like recording. So I'm very excited to indulge that side of myself tonight with you and with everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely a great space to be meeting like-minded people and sharing our hobbies, because you know how it feels when you do a thing and nobody understands what you're doing and you're trying to nerd out and like, you know. But we are apparently on a tight deadline because we do want to get everyone to do karaoke. Please, everyone sing. If you don't sing, sing anyways. I'm going to say it's going to sound awful. So, we want to hear Melissa sing too, right? Okay, so let's get started. So what makes this such an exciting moment for vocalists and songwriters in the EDM world? And how can newcomers take advantage of it?
Well, I feel like EDM is getting super popular. And it's been popular for a while, but there's like a really great, I don't know, it's a great time for like collaboration. Like you can meet people super easily on the internet, and like events like this are happening again. So it's really easy to meet people. It's really easy to record from home. And if you are a singer, and I know there's probably a lot of singers, but there's probably a lot of producers here too. A lot of producers do not sing and they do not write, but they need vocals and lyrics for their music. So that is an opportunity for us to come in and like collaborate with people who need us, potentially make some money off doing it as well, and also like grow our Spotify like profiles and like get attention from those releases. It's also a really great opportunity to like work on tracks without paying people, because like I've paid a lot of people to make tracks and now I'm like, oh, I don't have to hire people. Like I just collaborate with them, or sometimes they hire me and then like my name goes on it, and it's better than anything I could ever make. So it's just like a great opportunity, and right now it's really popular, so it's a good time to do it.
That's lovely. Actually, firstly, I got a water for you,
Oh,
so
thank
please
you.
hydrate.
I actually have one too, so I'm
Oh,
gonna be
perfect. Okay,
Does
well, you're
anyone need a
double
water?
hydrated. P clear, sing
You
clear,
want one?
right?
Yeah. Oh, here, you pass it back.
Before we continue, out of curiosity, who's the producer in this room? Raise your hand if you're a producer. Higher in there. Come on. Don't be shy. Okay. We got like 5 people here. What about vocalists? Who are vocalists here?
Amazing.
Yo, okay.
I had some producer vocalists.
Yes,
Yeah,
some producer vocalists.
wow.
Okay.
A rare breed.
So, Melissa, you started out with unpaid collaborations, and you kind of covered this a little bit earlier, but what did you learn from your early experiences, or what did your early experiences teach you? How did they set you up for where you are now?
So when I started, like I was releasing my own stuff, which was pop music, chill pop music. And then I had like a couple of producers reach out to me in 2020 with EDM tracks. EDM is a little bit different than pop, but it's not that different. And in some ways it's a bit simpler structure, because there's like a lot of repetition. Where you would have a chorus, there's like a drop where you would maybe just do ad libs and you don't actually do lyrics. But yeah, I guess what I learned was like to ask questions if you're unfamiliar with something, and how to record when you're working with somebody else. But I had somebody, their artist name is I'm All Right. I don't know if you guys, if you've ever heard of him. But I reached out to him about like working on something, and he basically like did a Discord call with me. We did like a little FL Studio session on Discord, and he showed me everything, how to record for like an EDM song, and what a producer would like to receive and what a producer would expect. So I learned a lot like about vocal stacks. Do you guys know what stacks are? Yeah, so like a main vocal, 2 doubles. I usually do 2 harmonies, like 1 left, 1 right. And then I do 2 takes of ad libs. And then that's all I do. If they want more, I can do more. But yeah, just learning the ropes of like how to do it, the form. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, give you a chance to like experiment, like
Yes.
have room for mistake, basically.
Exactly.
Right?
And when it's
Yeah.
unpaid, it's a collaboration. Like there's no pressure, there's no entitlement. And I think that if you want to do it, it's a really good way to get comfortable with it and to iron out your mistakes. Because I do think that if you are going to charge people eventually, you should know how to do it or like have some experience, I guess. But yeah, it was a good opportunity. And like a lot of producers, they pitch their songs to labels. So it connected me with labels that I wouldn't otherwise like be connected with. So that's been good for when I release my own music and I'm pitching stuff. But it also like gave me a little boost that allowed me to sort of like 5 million Spotify streams. Like not very many of those are my individual releases. Those are collaborations that have been on labels where they like promote it, put it on their playlist, but it sounds really good. I'm in this room sitting on a couch because, you know, partly because of stuff like that. But I don't know, it can just open doors and it gives you clout. Not that that's important, but it gives you sort of like something to stand on if you want to get people to pay you eventually.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about your vocal stack and the process.
Yeah.
We wanted to know a little more about the top line. So could you break down what a top line is actually, and what your typical workflow is to creating the top line, from like start to like where it's gonna end up?
So top line, do you guys have anyone heard of top line in here? Yeah, a couple of people. So essentially it's just the vocal in a track, right? They call it the top line because in a track, it's like the top line. It's the one that you hear the most. But yeah, it's just like the vocal with the lyrics. And when I work on a track, like usually I have a producer who sends me a track. I have like a little studio set up at home. It's super simple, super simple. But I take the track, I find the key, the BPM of the song. I ask the producer, like, do you have a vibe you're going for? Can you send me an example of like a song? And this is like kind of what you're going for with this, or a couple songs. And is there something specific you want me to write about? And if they want me to write about something specific, that's fine. If they're like, just do what feels right, that's amazing, because that's usually even better. And then I just like, I'll sit down after I've warmed up my voice and I'll listen to what they've sent me and sort of think about the themes that I want to sing about or that they want me to sing about. And if I don't have an idea, then I will like go on Pinterest or like watch YouTube videos that are like very introspective and just try and kind of drum up some ideas. And if I don't have an idea, then I would go to my little notebook or like my Google Drive where I've like put ideas in the past, because when you write for people, you're not always in the mood. But when you are in the mood, that's when the ideas are flowing. So I always save those ideas, even if I'm not like in a session when they happen. But usually, do you guys know who Kara is? Has anyone heard of Kara? Yes. Okay. She's amazing. So she has like a vocal template that I use. I think it was like $10. And she also had a course on like how to comp and how to write over EDM tracks. And she suggested something that I do a lot. It's called like vocalization. So when you write a track, you send it to me, and I just sort of hum over it when you send it to me. Like once I'm in the mood and I've thought about these things and I've listened to my references, I'll be like, what melody comes naturally to me? So I'll hit record and I'll just like hum over the song, and then I'll listen to it and I'll think about the parts that like kind of stood out to me, or like when I stopped recording, the parts that I remembered, because those are usually the parts that are like the hookiest part, I guess, if you naturally remember it. And then I go from there. Like if a line comes into my head, songwriting is a weird craft because it's hard to explain. It's kind of like pulling things out of the air. But, you know, if a line comes in, like lean into the line. If a melody comes in, lean into that and just like see where it goes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm curious from also from the producer's perspective, but to start off, about how long does it normally take between like starting the song, working with the producer, to like the end? I'm sure it's a big range, but could you share, like, was there any time you were like, here's the take, and they're like, perfect, done?
Yes.
Or yeah, okay,
yeah,
okay.
The best. So I do like a lot of different clients, and most of them, they're so great. Like I'll send them lyrics and they're like, love it, no notes. And I'm like, oh, you're the best. Sometimes you have to go back and forth a little bit. And I used to really kill myself being like, I got to send them the perfect thing the first time. Now I'm like, I don't need to send them the perfect thing. I can send them something. They're probably going to have notes anyways, and it doesn't matter, expect to have a couple of revisions. But for example, so like if I'm slammed with like 8 projects, for example, and I'm juggling them, then it might take me like 2 to 3 weeks between like they hire me, I start writing, they might take a while to get back to me. And then, once we have a like demo, then I'll record it, send it back to them, wait for everything's good. But I started one last week and he was like, immediately, that's great. And I was like, okay, I can't record it till this week. And I recorded it in one day, sent it to him, and he's like, it's great, done. So it was like 2 sessions. That's the best.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
I know. That never happens, to be honest. But
oh my goodness. I mean, sometimes, and like as you get better at songwriting, I imagine.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And it depends too, like how picky people are and perfectionism. Yeah.
Yes.
I do recommend though, like let stuff cook, like don't rush it.
That makes
Let
sense.
it simmer. Yeah.
Actually, so I think there's some advice that I'm curious in from you that's a little more broad. So you talked about how you would you don't want to make the perfect take, or like you're not trying to chase the perfect take. You're like, okay, just create something and send it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think in this in any industry where you're trying to create something for somebody else, there's like a push of how much you present to give them a feel of what you're making before actually committing to it. Right. Do you have any advice for someone in that, like if it's be art, if it be vocals, how do you find that perfect balance? Yes. Or if that even exists?
I think if you can give someone a demo that is very high quality and like a good representation of what a song could be, in balance with it does not take up too much time because it is a demo and you are expecting to re-record everything. So when I record, like if someone wants me to write a song, I come up with the lyrics. I usually do like a super rough thing because I'm just like figuring it out. And then I retake that demo and it's still super rough. It's imperfect, super flawed, but it goes through my Kara mix vocal template. It sounds better. Like I kind of sit it nicely in the track and I send it. Sometimes I'll do like a couple ad libs or some like formatted vocals, which are just like affected vocals, just to give someone an idea, like this is how great it could be day one. Imagine. But you don't want to spend too much time on it because it's just a demo. Does that answer your question? I feel like there was another part to your question.
I think it does. I'm curious. So, like an imperfect take would be like you're not trying to make the perfect take, as in by like what you're sending them has mistakes vocally.
It's not perfect. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be perfect because it is a demo. When you are recording your stacks and you're comping, that's the time to like pay attention to detail. Comping is just cutting your vocals. Like if you record 6 takes, you pick the best parts and you make one really good vocal. But yeah, when you do a demo, you just want to be efficient with your time, I guess.
Do you also send stacks? Like do you
not for demos. No.
It's just the one line.
Yeah, just the top like main vocal. And I always also I'm like, this is really rough, guys. Like, I'm going to send you something perfect and polished later, but this is just rough. Like, this is what you can picture in these sections. And usually people are like, this is a really good demo. Like, if this is a bad demo, Melissa, like, you need to undersell.
Yeah. Actually, so you mentioned your secret sauce earlier. I'm curious, what's your, you don't have to spill the secret, but is there anything that you would be willing to share, like your favorite plugin for mixing vocals or like, any tip for the producers out there or the vocalists if they're doing it themselves, right?
I love formants. So formants is like little vocal effects. It took me forever. I used to listen to a lot of Chelsea Cutler, Jeremy Zucker, and I heard this noise and I was like, what is this? And like it took me years to find out, okay, this is a format. I can YouTube how to do a format. But if you do like a main vocal, you record a really good main vocal, you can export your main, bring it back in, and then I pitch it down an octave. Usually you do not layer your vocal if it's the exact same take because you're going to have, like, it's going to sound weird if I copy paste main vocal, and it's the exact same take. It's going to sound weird. But if you pitch it lower, it actually sounds okay, and it's usually quieter and it's thickened. Sometimes I'll also do the exact same take again, formatted. I don't use it for the whole song, but if I'm like building it up, maybe the pre-drop, I'll add in like a lower octave and a format. And then you just record it at once, but you now have like 3 stacks in that one part. You can pan it a little bit. But yeah, that's like a simple way to just add a little texture if you're trying to make it sound a little more polished.
Wait, okay, so I'm hearing, is it formant shifting or is it forman?
I call it
formant. Format.
I might be saying it wrong. Yeah, it's format shifting though. It's like,
yeah.
Ableton 12 has a plugin now called Auto Shift. It's a built-in auto tuner, and then on the right side there's a little knob that's format.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. So you have to find those.
To record an octave, you can just drag it down, and it does the effect.
And it sounds so
And then you can do dry wet, and you can also mix it in.
Yes.
Well, you don't need Alter Boy anymore? Wow.
Alter Boy. Oh wow.
I use Chipmunk actually, but that's good to know.
It does both. You can do Chipmunk. You can also do the zoo type of.
And if you use FL Studio, it's actually built right in. Like if you click on the sample, you can format it right from there.
Oh, are you FL?
I'm an FL Studio. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If
There's
anyone
a lot
wants
of
to talk
Abletons here,
about
I
that
think.
later.
Are there other FLs?
Nice.
Okay. So we've derailed a little bit. Let's get a little bit more on track. So I'm curious. You actually mentioned the songwriting flow. It's crazy. You just went straight into it. I swear you're like reading through my questions. It's kind of funny. But so standing out in EDM, in a scene with so many artists, how have you found your unique voice? And what do you have any advice for any vocalist trying to stand out?
Yes. So we were chatting a little earlier, and I was saying, like, I don't consider myself like a strong singer, if I'm being honest. I did not have lessons when I was a child. I did a few lessons when I was like in university, and like a 6-lesson thing when I moved to Toronto. But I do not have technique to stand on. I also do not have like insane vocal range. So for a long time, like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I'm never going to be on pop radio. I can't hit this note that my singing teacher said. This is the one if you want to sing pop songs. But it's totally changed. And now you can pretty much do anything as long as your voice is like interesting and nice to listen to. So there's no rules, really. I lean into my soft, breathy voice that is imperfect, but it shows emotion. And that is what has helped me a lot. I sing songs and I write lyrics about emotional things, and my lyrics are very like storytelling-y. There's a lot of like melodic bass songs that are like really emotional and, you know, dramatic and sad, and it's perfect for that. But then there's also like a really good like there's a lot of opportunities for people who have different types of voices, right? Like I was talking to Adrian, who's like, she's into K-pop, and I'm like, well, that's a crazy different type of voice, and you know, that's like a really interesting angle that can be brought to EDM. Or there's people who have like insane ranges and they can sing stuff I'll never be able to sing, and like if you need a vocalist like that for a certain track, then like, you know, there's room for you too. So I think don't try to be something else. Just like actually look at yourself and be like, you know, what am I good at? Let's get better at that, and let's like lean into it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, do you have any vocal role models? Or are there anyone that you look up to? Are there anyone that you're like, I would love to be able to sing like that?
Yes. Yeah. When I was learning, I wanted to sing like Demi Lovato. And I was devastated because I was like, I don't have that range. Like, she has a killer high vocal range. So when I was learning, I was imitating her. She also has a really incredible tone. It's really like sweet, and it's amazing she has such range. So she's definitely one. Yeah, I listened to a lot of Britney Spears as well when I was a kid, and she has a funny way of singing, but I like it as well. Chelsea Cutler too. Yeah.
So I'm curious on, because you found your voice, you found what works. Was there a time where you're like, oh, I'm really uncertain, or like,
Yes.
or have you, did you work to find this voice? Was there a process that you try a few different things? What was successful for you?
I think it's just time. Like I started releasing music, like 2017, I guess, but I've been writing since I was a kid. And I'm not like super proud of my first few songs and the vocals on it. And I truly don't think anyone is, actually. Like, I think you can't wait until your voice is like in its sweet spot. You have to start, and with time and experience, like you'll find it, you know, it gets refined with time. And like I've been doing EDM now for 5 years, and I feel like I'm just getting it, you know? So it just takes time.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Thank you. So you've built a real momentum through platforms like Sound Better and Spotify. What strategies have helped you find clients and collaborators most effectively?
So do you guys know what Sound Better is? Does anyone know? Yeah, Ren knows. Oh yeah. So yes. So Sound Better is like this platform where you can hire a vocalist, a songwriter, a producer. If you're a producer, you can go on there too. Mixing engineer. But it's basically a place for people to hire freelance music people. And if you're a music person, it's a place to put yourself out there and maybe have clients find you. So when I started doing collaborations, my friend Amarai was like, you know, one day you can charge for this. You shouldn't do it until you know what you're doing. But like one day you could. This is a platform. There's other ones. And it used to be owned by Spotify. So just like you have your Instagram and your Twitter, there's also a little spot where you can connect with Sound Better. You can't put just anything on there, but Sound Better you can link to. So I've just found that it took a while to build momentum. There's also an algorithm on Sound Better if you're getting like in the search results and stuff. So the more you do, more people hire you, the higher you are in the results. But just simply by releasing music on Spotify and collaborating with people who maybe have a bigger audience than you or like a different audience, just more people see you, you get more attention on there. Maybe they go to your Spotify profile and they're like, oh, I make EDM too. I love this song. I can actually hire the girl on the song that I love for my song, you know? Like imagine that's so cool, right? And I think a lot of my clients find me on there. I also have people who find me on Instagram. Like a lot of producers follow me because I make like vocal stack content basically, or recording content. But yeah, Instagram is great. Like social media is great. I reach out to people for collaborations on social media. I don't ever like cold reach out people to be like, hey, you should hire me, because that's like that's not the vibe. But if you just put yourself out there, like let them find you. And if there are people who you want to work with, and collaboration, I mean like you're not charging, you're just like collaborating, you know, just like send a DM. There's opportunity to be had. Like I always say to my husband, I'm like, I get the business done on Instagram, you know, and like there is opportunity in there. But if you want to do collaborations, like, so I do 2 different ways. Sorry, I'm kind of like going off your question, but so you can write to track. So if you're like, hey, do you have any instrumentals, and I'll write you something, or you can have a catalog and like have some sort of pre-written songs that you've recorded to a random track that will never be released, but you know, the vocals can like sit in that track or someone else's track, and you can either say, I'll write you something, this is what I've done in the past, or these are like the vocals that I have available, and maybe one would sit well in your song.
Yeah, actually on the catalogs, do you do anything to maintain a strong catalog, or do you kind of just like throw ideas there whenever it comes to you? Like what's your workflow with that?
Yeah, so the catalog is a new thing for me. I don't know if you guys know Jeff, who's part of the community, but I was talking to him a few months ago, and he's like, girl, you gotta get on this catalog thing, because like it's gonna help you a lot. So I've been working on my catalog a lot the last few months, and I will say I've also noticed a lot more people asking me for my catalog. So a catalog is like, for me, it is a collection on my Dropbox. That is the website, and I just upload my demos on there. And yeah, I've had a lot more producers lately be like, do you have any top lines available? Can I listen to something? And some people just prefer, I especially find people who are higher up, like who are doing it and they're touring and they have really great streaming numbers. They do not want to do this exchange that we talked about earlier of like a couple weeks, you know, back and forth. They want to hear something and be like, I like this. I want to build a track around it. And there's no time, you know, lost to like communicating or that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's
but
great.
Yeah, just like a Dropbox folder or something.
Yeah, or like Google Drive or whatever.
Google Drive, yeah.
Cool. Actually, out of curiosity, is there any? Do you know of a platform for a catalog, or do you like? It is really just a drive, like a you keep your EPK on your drive too, or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
There is one, but I can't remember the name of it. I know like
Okay.
sync people use it a lot.
Oh.
If anyone's like really into sync, there's one. But yeah. Pardon? Yeah. So yeah, there's probably something out there for it.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
But you have it ready available for people to see. Okay. So you built a global community on Twitch before moving deeper into EDM. How did the experience shape your career, and what role does community still play with you today?
Yeah. So I found Twitch in 2018, so like before the pandemic, which was fortunate for me because it was a little easier to like find a community on there because there's a lot more people on there now. But community was incredible on there. And before being on Twitch, I really didn't have a good sense of like what that could be, especially an online community. But I found like an amazing group of people from all over who like believed in my music and wanted to support it. And it was wonderful. And then when I would release music, they wanted to celebrate it. And when I started doing Twitch, I thought, well, I have this song that I have been working on. I spent like $1,500 on it. And I was like, I gotta find an audience for this one. I had just quit my job and I was like, this has to work. If it doesn't work, I don't know what I'm doing. So I was like, okay, 3 months on Twitch. Let's see if we can find some people to listen to it and like have an impactful release. And that was the start. And I just never left because it was an incredible platform. And I do think it still is. And like, I've been doing it for a long time and it's an amazing way to connect with people from all over. Yeah, community is amazing. Community is everything. You guys know it because you're here, and that's an online community, which is one thing. And then this is like an in-person community, but there's just something really beautiful about people who like just genuinely want to help each other, and you stand to gain from someone else stands to gain from you. But more importantly, like you're just connecting and it's wholesome. Like there doesn't have to be anything else to it. You can just make new friends. And I think if we all sort of led with that energy more, we'd all be better off, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Actually, so one of our, or I think just one of our, no, we have another Twitch streamer here, actually.
How?
They're smiling right now.
Oh.
But also, one of our other friends also streams on Twitch.
Okay.
So I'm curious on, like, I feel like there is a, like you mentioned, there's a path there through Twitch to get exposure and all that kind of stuff. I actually also streamed on Twitch, but for Genshin Impact, that's a completely different thing. But for any mobile gamers out there. But I'm curious what your format was, because it's cool to be like, well, I have music to share to people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool to, like, you know, go online and like sing a little bit. But what really drew people to you? What was your format online? Did you kind of just show up?
Yeah.
Did you spend a lot of time like figuring out what your schedule was? Because like if you stream, it's like a long period of time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is like a lot of work. Like I had just quit my job, like I said. So like I had nothing else going on. I was like, I'm going to make this work. But I did do like a schedule where I did it like 2 or 3 days a week, same day, same time, so that people could like rely on me being there. I think that is very important, especially when you're trying out and or starting out. When I started, and pretty much everything I've ever done on Twitch is like, I just go live. I don't really prepare anything except that I've learned songs and I have a song list, and people can tune in and they can request songs, and I play piano. So I accompany myself and I sing and I just play people's requests, and I do it for 2 or 3 hours, which is a lot. If you're a singer, you're like, oh, I can't sing for that long, but it's not just singing. There's chatting. You can take breaks. I do a little piano, instrumental piano when my voice gets tired. But I think what is wonderful about Twitch that is different from like Instagram or TikTok or even YouTube is like it's really long form. Like you can be on there for 2 or 3 hours. Someone really gets a sense of who you are. Like it's not refined. And they don't expect you to be refined because you're on there for so long. So you don't have to stress so much. It's not like a show where it has to be perfect. You know, you're going to make mistakes and people will still like you and appreciate you. But you can have a back and forth on Twitch. There's a chat. I think probably everybody knows that, but yeah, there's a chat so people can talk to you and you can talk to them, and you can build like an actual connection and relationship with people who appreciate your music. I do think some of the people who support me, it's even less about the music. Like, they just like me and the vibe. And I think a lot of it is about the vibe. And that's fine. Like, there's a lot of artists that I really like, and I probably like their vibe more than I like their music too. But it's a really good opportunity. Like, it's probably not for everybody. But if you feel like you have a little extra energy and time, it's a good place to try to connect with people and show them your personality.
So a common thing with Twitch streamers is that they name their chat something. Do you call chat, or do you have a name for them?
Yeah.
Lamm fam? Wait, that's
The
actually
Lamm
great.
fam.
Lamm fam.
Yeah.
Oh, Lamm
The
fam.
Lamm
How you
fam.
feeling tonight?
What's going on, Lamm fam? Yeah. I do say chat sometimes, but it also feels like, it's so impersonal. Hi, chat.
Hi, chat. Yeah,
know,
I don't
like-
like chat either.
Yeah.
But some people do it
What,
anyways.
do you have a name for your people?
I was not big enough, so I just called
Oh.
everyone individually. I mean, I also didn't like chat. I think I just avoided it. I was just like,
Yeah.
hey guys, or something, you know.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't.
That's
big
fine.
enough,
I
so,
say
you
guys
know.
too. Yeah.
Hey guys.
That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I had a question. Oh, okay. So for the vocalists out there, but also for like people talking a lot.
Yeah.
Regardless, 2 hours, 3 hours is
I
still
know,
a
it's a
long
lot.
period of time. What's your, because also like sing is tiring.
Yeah.
I assume you stay hydrated. Do you have any other tips to be able to sing for that period of time healthily?
Yes. I have to admit, like, I do always second guess and worry, but I also, that is kind of my nature too, to like worry, like, oh my God, is my voice okay? But I find like if you warm up ahead of time, really good. Don't do it without warming up. I had a vocal coach who was like, cool down when you're done singing. Have you heard of this? Yeah, it's kind of fun, but like, when you're done singing, don't just go and live your life after. Like, do little vibrational exercises and sort of like, relax your voice. I try, if I'm doing a stream, I try not to like record earlier that day because it's a lot. And I am not singing for 2 to 3 hours. Like, I take breaks. If I need to, I play instrumental music or I chat. One thing my vocal coach said too was like, if you're talking, you can talk with your diaphragm too, and it takes strain off your voice. And that singers should be doing that regularly. I don't, but like, it's a good idea. I'm doing it now that I'm thinking about it. But just like be careful with your voice and hydrate a lot, and drink hot liquids and all that good stuff. But yeah, just don't overexert it. And if it feels wrong, don't sing the next day. So you have to be
Makes
mindful
sense.
of that if you're putting it into your
Take
calendar.
care of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Would you like to share your favorite vocal exercise? I'm curious.
So I'm living remotely right now, so I don't really have a keyboard. But I used to do like my keyboard exercises. So right now I do YouTube like vocal exercises for sick and tired voices, because I think that'll be nice and gentle, like I want the gentlest warm up. You probably can remember them better than me because he's always in the next room hearing them like ma 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 ma, like just yeah. There's also like a really low hum that I love, so it's just like and just keep doing it and do it lower and lower, and it sounds like it's not doing much, but it helps a lot, especially if you're recording low stuff. It just gives you a little flexibility down there.
I did hear humming is the most like relaxing way for your vocal folds, so
It's chill.
that's nice. Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, like I don't have a huge background in the lesson part, so, and we were kind of talking earlier, like we could all do a little more with warming up and vocal
you
training,
can always
right?
take care of it.
We
But
could
like,
always,
it's just taking care of the
Yeah.
body, right?
Yeah.
Your voice is your instrument, or
Oh.
your body is your instrument.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
okay, here's a secret. I think running is fantastic for warming up your voice. You can run and just breathe in and out, and you're doing it like if you're running fast and you're really like blowing off some steam. I've had some of my easiest, best sessions after I've just had like physical activity beforehand. Yeah.
I've heard of a choir that like they go for a run before they sing, which is
Interesting.
wild, first of all. But
We do a run club on Sundays, and then we go record after. Right?
y'all vocalists, you're pulling up, right? Sunday, let's go. That's actually really cool. Okay, so we're almost there. Few quick fire questions. If a producer sent you a track tonight, what's the first thing you'd do to start top lining it?
I would have a conversation with them. I would say, okay, what do you want? What do you want from this? Because the worst thing ever is that I'm going to dive right in, and then it's not going to be what they had in mind because they already had something in mind. Yeah, and then it's wrong, and I have to redo it, and I wasted all that time.
Yeah, communication is important. I'm assuming that's over like a call.
Yeah, usually I do email. Sometimes I do calls. But email is good. I like that, or just like written, because you can always go back to it if you need to go back and you like forget what they wanted.
That makes sense. Okay. What's your go-to mic or piece of gear you can't live without in your home studio?
Right now, I really, there's so many. I really like the Shure SM7B. It is not a fancy microphone, but it gets rid of noise in the background, which is amazing because as a singer, I am learning and realizing there's no silence anywhere in this world. So it's very forgiving. Yeah.
Absolutely not. Actually, do you you just said you've built some panels.
Yeah.
Do you have any other, because I know some people go in the closet, some people put like a blanket over themselves. I've actually heard that like facing your closet is good because like the sound coming from here is what matters.
Yeah.
But what's your, like you have panels now.
Yeah.
Have they helped a lot? Are there any other secrets that you'd like to,
Okay, so I just made some panels. I had an old mattress and I cut the sponge up and made some wooden frames, but I haven't used them yet because I am living like nomadically right now. So like I just live in Airbnbs since April. So I have lived in like 5 different places in the last 5 months, and every single one I have had to tailor my recording setup to a new space. I have used, whatever I have, towels and blankets over closet doors, singing into that, pillows behind my laptop and my desk just to take whatever sound I can, closing blinds. I do really like if you don't have sound treatment, just singing into a blanket. I've also done the thing where you sing inside of it, and it's really good for like intimate songs, like really quiet little things like that. I had a studio in a basement that was unfinished, so it was just all like the foam. That was probably the very best sound dampening that I've ever had. Yes. In the past, I used AT4040 or AT40, I guess, like Audio-Technica. And I do really like that one a lot. But I just have found it's so hard to find silence. Yeah. Yes. So it's the type of mic where you sing right into it and it kind of cuts stuff out. I've also used really high-end mics when I've gone to an actual studio. Those are amazing. Obviously I'd rather have that, but we do what we can.
They also have the treatment.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it helps a lot, right? Yeah. It's really forgiving. Yeah.
I moved beside the highway, and my mic would pick up the highway sounds. I had zero silence at all. It was awful.
Wow.
So that was the thing.
I'm actually, every time we pick a Airbnb, I'm looking at that. I'm like, is it near a highway? Are there lawnmowers? Oh, is it near a school? Will there be screaming kids?
Okay. If you had a dream producer or DJ to work with, who would it be?
Oh yeah.
Here. It's gotta be one of us here, right?
I really want to work with Son Holo. We're Son Holo fans. I love him. So I do you guys know? Okay, can I talk for a sec? Just a minute. There's a movie on Netflix. I'm going totally off the question here.
No,
There's a movie on Netflix. What is it called? It's the one Ibiza, as we said earlier. And it's about a DJ, and it's for a rom-com for DJ. Oh, you'd all love it. I know you would. Rob Starr, Game of Thrones, so good. 2 songs on there are from Son Holo. I was not into EDM. I think it was 2018 at the time. And I heard these songs and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. And I was like, oh, they're both the same artist named Son Holo. And I've been so into EDM ever since. So he was kind of my first. And yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm manifesting. Please.
Okay.
Do the same.
One last quick fire for you. if you could give one piece of advice for the vocalists out there who are starting off in EDM, what would that be?
Be patient because it takes so long to build momentum and to learn things. But it's worth doing. Like, it's worth doing, and you can start now. And I'm sure you guys have already learned a lot, and you can just keep going. But it does take time, and you're always gonna build on your skills. You're always gonna scale, your gear. You're not gonna get the best stuff right away. You're maybe not gonna get paid clients right away. You might work with people who maybe aren't the people, they're not Sound Holo. You want to work Sound Holo first, but you have to work with other people first and learn it, and be patient, and I hope that it will work out and you'll get where you want to be.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Melissa Lamm.
Thank you for having me. Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
everyone for
letting me
being
nerd.
here. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Also, if you're a vocalist or a producer, just come talk to me. I want to make friends, so come say hi, please.
You can find you on Spotify and
I'm
Twitch.
on Spotify, Twitch, Melissa Lamm, Lamm. Be part of the Lamm fam,
Yeah. Is there any song that you're excited for, that we should be excited to be hearing soon?
Yes, I have a couple collaborations coming out. There's one with a guy he's from New York, and it's really cute. It's kind of he sounds like Sound Holo, so I'm like, yes, the best. And I have a Home by Dawn, if you guys know him. I have a song I'm working on with him that's coming out soon with Wave Music. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you.
This camera. This is the hot ones. Okay. Let's wrap up. It's time for karaoke. Please, I want to hear all of you sing. Let's get out of here.
You're amazing.